Just sending the data. Do a quick confirmation to make sure everything's working. And of course, send the links out to the communities. Yeah, just a moment here. Alrighty. Another trading day. Already been with us on London with SP Das, Shiv Priya Das. Now joining IT for New York. It's going to be a banger. Just as a quick note, I might be dropping off closer to 9 a.m. EST just for a meeting. Alrighty, everything seems to be good to go. Let's just wait for people to load in. Make sure nothing crashes. Got my Grand Canyon sweater on today. Magical place if you haven't visited. Right, yeah, it looks like we're good to go. The viewers are rolling in, and I'm sure that anyone that misses anything, you can watch the replay. We'll do a TLDR. Doing the so we're running the ForexLens AI in real time right now on these sessions. Still testing, and I've been putting samples out on X for you to see. The actual unified market narrative is coming along since January 1st, and I'm not really posting all of them yet. I just want to keep refining things so that they're perfect. I really don't want people to take, if there's any mistakes in there, I just want to make sure that they're scrubbed out, make sure that everyone's trading safely. And of course, yeah, watching these live sessions is where it's at anyways, because you get the information in real time. And of course, taking paper notes mentioned, that's the best thing to do because you imprint the information in your subconscious. And we like to roll that way. That's why we read physical books, not digital books. And IT's gonna mention something about that later. So with all respect and humbleness, IT, please take over the mic.
Okay, thank you very much. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay, let me share my screen. Give me 1 second. There we go. Okay. So welcome everyone to the New York session. I hope you're doing well. Let's start with a bit of psychology. This week is NFP, and I think last week I did make a mistake because I was assuming or I was expecting NFP to be last week Friday, but it wasn't the case. So this week, Friday, you're gonna have NFP, and tonight at 7 p.m. GMT, there will be FOMC. Now, these news events, they do kind of have an impact on the market. So you need to make sure you are aware when there is going to be any high impact news events, especially the dollar index. because the dollar is king when it comes to the financial market. Whatever the dollar does, everybody bows to it. So if there is going to be any high impact news on the dollar index, you need to be aware of it. Because if you are in any form of trade and the news comes out for dollar, you might experience some volatility, and maybe it will help push your trade in your target or to your target, or it might push it against you. So just be aware, every single week, the high impact news that will affect the dollar. If you trade other currencies, then obviously be aware of the other currencies news events. But if you are trading any other thing, just be aware of what the high impact news is going to be on dollar index. There are a few of them that are very, very volatile, not all of them. Um, we have NFP, which is every first Friday of the month. It can change the course of the direction of where the market is going, or it can be used as the manipulation for the month. Okay, and then you have CPI. CPI, you go to forexfactory.com, you'll be able to see where when this news event is going to come in. So CPI and NFP, and it's sometimes GDP as well. GDP news event can also have an impact on the dollar index. So just make sure you familiarize yourself with these news events so that if it's coming out, you become aware. And maybe, like I said, it can push price in your favor or it can push it against you. It depends on the direction at the time of the news release. So this week, the reason why price is behaving the way it's behaving, right, is because we have NFP. Now, when NFP is coming, Monday, Tuesday will give you a really decent price action. And then from Wednesday to Friday, most of the time, price will just go up and down, waiting for the news release. Now, the way I see price when NFP is coming, I see it as the monthly candle manipulation. So I think I've talked a little bit about how I view price. So if this is a candle for the month, okay, then most of the time the NFP will be, if we are going higher, it will be the wick. So they might push it lower and then reject and go higher. Okay, and I think I'll show you an example of it that happened last month over here. At the beginning of the month, they pushed price lower for the first week, and then the second, third week of the month, price went higher. So if you look at the monthly candle on the DXY, you will see that this move down. Okay, December started here, and then it started here, and then price went down like this. So that was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That Friday, that's when price went down aggressively with the news and then quickly rejected, and price never looked back. Okay, so when we have NFP, that is what it can do. So as I was drawing here, depending on where the market is going, you might want to be aware of this news so that you be watching what the NFP is going to do. Because if it's going to go up, then you can anticipate that they're going to send it down aggressively and then go up. And the opposite is true if it's going to go down. So if you're expecting it to go down, then they will use it to create the candle wick on the upside and then reject and go lower, right? So as it stands, that's what I think they might do. Today is Wednesday, so they might go one more time up and then reject. I'm watching, okay? And then if you are long-term trader, what you need to do is always wait for that first week to play out. Don't be in a hurry to get into any trade. That's why I personally have not touched the majors yet, because when there is NFP, it can change the direction of price at any second. Within 1 minute, price can shoot up 100 pips, and you don't want to be in that. So if I'm expecting higher prices, then I'll expect manipulation to the downside and then buy it. If I'm expecting lower prices, I'm expecting manipulation to the upside and then rejection to go lower. Hence, I'm expecting the manipulation to give me something like this. Initially, on Monday, had this candle close below this, then I would expect the manipulation to just come up a little bit more and then go down. But they failed to close below this down candle, which, um, as it stands, that is where our mental stop loss is for the continuation to the upside. On Monday, I was fully convinced they were going to close below it because of how big that candle was going down, but they basically rejected. And yesterday ended up as an inside candle, which when it's doing something like that, is really not great to be doing anything because it can do a lot of damage to you when they are creating an inside candle. Hence, you saw how the crypto market did yesterday. And I think it's something that we were anticipating anyway. So dollar index as it stands right now, I think they will go and attack previous week high, which is 109,552. Okay, and then a potential, I don't know, rejection, or they might go and balance that weekly imbalance that I was looking at, which is here. Now, when price is extremely high like this in a range, you need to be very careful expecting a continuation. At the same time, you need to be careful anticipating the reversal because that is where the manipulation is going to happen. And if you look at when we go to crypto market, you see what I mean. When it's going up with just one directional candles, right? The reason why I'm anticipating the potential rejection is because they've been going up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6 blue up candles, which is not likely for price to do that most of the time, especially on a high time frame like this. And so when that is happening, it means something is up, especially the location. I spoke about this high to this low. So just be mindful. If you're expecting dollar to continue going higher, be mindful. Okay. So between today and Friday, I want to see them go above previous week high, which is this high here, and then maybe a rejection. Okay, and that rejection, as I said, I want it to come back inside this range first. And then I think we will discuss more about it later. But for now, let's stick with price going for 109.55. And then once we get there, we will see what it's going to do. Okay. I don't want to give any prediction because of the NFP. Had we gone below this down candle and closed below it, then I would have basically looked for the continuation to this level and then probably in here. But that didn't happen. So let's wait and see. Euro, it didn't go above that weekly high as I was expecting it. So maybe this move to the upside is to suck in more traders and then go against them for another buy. Okay, so you might have 1, 2, 3 down or maybe 4 down candles to attack this low and then a potential rejection. Okay, now let me bring in this so that you understand. When the market opens, again, when we go to Bitcoin, I'll explain more. When the market opens, okay, you need to understand that there is an algorithm according to ICT, and based on the algorithm, it's going to print a candle that has a wick on the downside and a wick on the upside. So when we open the new candle, especially on the high time frame, you need to have where price is going in terms of direction. So you need to be either bullish or bearish for that candle that has just opened. Okay, you need to be either bullish or bearish for the candle that has just opened, especially from the daily, weekly, monthly time frame. Now, if you are bullish, then you want to see some form of manipulation to the downside first, and then price will go higher. Okay, because the idea is that when the manipulation is happening, that is when accumulation is happening, meaning smart money or investors are buying the down movement. And the book that I recommended yesterday, How I Made $1 Million Trading Commodities by Larry Williams, it discusses something like that. He said that he knew, what was the word? He wished he knew the people that buys when the market opens, because his strategy was to wait for that to happen, and then when it's going up, that's when he buys. Okay, so when the market opens and it goes down and it's rejecting, when it rejects and it's going up, then he buys. But he did see that it was consistently repeating, but he was afraid to buy when it goes down. He only got confidence in buying when it's going up. So it was ICT that actually went in and did a lot of research and digging and backtesting to see how the market actually dips down, so that when it's dipping down like this, you can buy. So what I'm driving at is, if you are bullish, you want to anticipate the market moving lower first. And if you are bearish, you want to anticipate the market moving higher first. It's classic, because if you are not careful, if you are bullish and the market opens and it goes up first, okay, then it might suck you in and then go lower. And that's what Bitcoin has done. Okay? When we started at the beginning of the year, I said that when the market opens, expect that manipulation to the upside, and then it will reject and go lower to create the wick. Right? So I'm not surprised to see all the cryptos, especially Bitcoin and Ethereum, okay, dropping, because when the month opened, it actually went up first. So if you are bearish as it's moving up, that's your clue. And yesterday I said it again. If you want to be a seller, sell when it's going up. If you want to be a buyer, buy when it is going down. Okay. So I'm bringing it up to discuss what is happening on Euro. We've just opened for the month. Okay. And the wick, instead of it going up first, it's actually going down first. Okay. Because this is January, right? And January, we open here, and you can see price has not done any up movement, but rather is moving lower. So when it's moving lower, then there is a high probability that by the end of the month, price will, or by the end of the first week or second week, price will start rejecting to come up. Okay, you need to kind of understand this concept about how the candlesticks actually is, or how they move. So when you see certain moves happening, you don't get attached or attracted to the move. We call it priming. Okay, don't get primed into seeing something and then all of a sudden it changes to something completely different, and you probably not have any idea why it did what it did. Okay, so Euro going down the first week of the month is not a good idea for continuation to the downside. That's basically what I was driving to, because it needs to go up first and then go down. So by the end of the month, let me clean out some of this drawing. I think I should be a painter. I like drawing. Why am I doing that? That was so much easier. Anyway, so if you look at the monthly candle, right? That's the beginning of the month, right? The first week needs to create a wick on the upside and then a move to the downside. But if it goes down first, which is what it's currently doing, because it's the first week is what the wick will be, this one here. So if it's going to be an up candle, then the first week will likely be here, and then it will go up and never come back down again. Okay, so since we are still in the first week and price is doing this, if we end up taking out this low, then I will anticipate a potential rejection because that would have created the wick. But of course, I don't blindly buy it because it needs to give me, similar to what I was showing you on New Zealand yesterday, it needs to go above the weekly high. So this will become the weekly high for this week. Hence, if I'm expecting it to go higher, then this needs to happen. So that will be Thursday and then Friday, and then we expect that. Then you have your bullish pattern, right? Oops. You have your bullish pattern. Then you can start looking for the buy. And this would have created the low of the month. And then price will go higher. Okay, the same thing happened in December. If you look at December, this was the first week of December. Price went higher to take out some people and then went down for the rest of the month. Every single month, if you are bullish or bearish, you want to anticipate something like that. I think November did the same thing, or that was October. Yeah, November. This was the first week of November. Price went higher and then lower. So that creates the high of the month, and then price will never look back again. All right. So that's what I'm expecting going forward on Euro. Now, I will not start looking into trade ideas yet. I will start looking into trade ideas probably from the second week of January because I like trading aggressively from the second week of January. The first week and the second week, it's not a good idea due to several factors, which I'll go over it maybe in future. There's too much information on that. Okay, so let's look at British pound. So British pound is the same thing. We are creating potentially the low of the month, and it looks like right now this is the target that it will reach for. 1.22994. They will run that going forward. So expect a continuation to the downside to take out 1.22994 on the British pound. And then don't do anything. If you are a currency trader, once you go below that, don't do anything. Because this is a huge time frames low. So there might be liquidity below it. And they might take the opposite side of the trade if you go short below that low. Aussie and New Zealand, they failed to close above the weekly high, which again, that might be the same thing. They're going to go for the same level that I talked about. I think the first week, last week, they might be going for that and then the rejection. Now, I would love to see something like that because, like I said, when you are doing any form of trading, just make sure that there is no clean low left behind you. Any form of low like this, you don't want it. Okay, it always leaves that room for them to come back and wipe everything out before the main move will happen. So when I am doing any trading, I make sure I don't leave room for something like this. This is equal low. I don't like it. I get nervous when I'm long and I have something like that behind me. Okay, so it will be better for them to sweep that before going higher. Okay, so let's see between today and Friday, let them wipe everything out, and then we anticipate the break to go maybe in a pullback. All right, and New Zealand also same thing. It failed to close above the weekly high. Now, the close above the weekly high, as I mentioned, on a daily basis is so important, right? If it doesn't close above it, then there is a problem. And you can see, I think pretty much everybody is learning something. When price is going to go up or down, you need it to close above or below the weekly high or low, especially on the daily time frame. You want them to keep closing below or above it for a continuation to that direction. So if you study price, if price is going to continue going up, you see that every single week there is a close above the previous week high. And if it's going lower, every single week there's a close below the previous week low on a daily basis. On the daily time frame, the weekly low price will close below it. All right. So New Zealand, let them go and wipe out this low. Potentially even this one, but I wouldn't want them to do that because that will change the whole narrative of what I'm expecting. So maybe they might engineer equal low in here and rather take out the low on Aussie. So if you look at this low, I think this is 2022 October and this is 2022 October. Between Aussie and New Zealand, okay, they kind of switch both of them and then move one and hold one. So when we have a low like this, and then we have a low like this, they will sometimes take out this one and then hold this. It's called cross pair manipulation. They will take this one and then hold this one. And that will help them to now make this pair stronger because this one will be weak and this one will be strong. So if you look at the two lows that I just showed you, you can see that the Aussie is very, very close to this low, taking it out. And then this one is a little bit far away. Okay. So most of the time what will happen is they will take out this one and then leave that. And this one will go higher and this one will now reverse. And this will be the stronger pair. So when you're trading crosses, forex traders, when you're trading crosses, pay attention to something like this. That will be the difference between being in a pair that will consolidate and then being in a pair that will move aggressively high. Because if you end up buying a pair like this, then it will consolidate because it's weak. But if you buy a pair like this, then it will go up because it's strong. Okay. So something for you to go into the chat and study. I think that's even happened sometimes between the Bitcoin market and the Ethereum market. Back in the day when I was looking into what I just shared with you here, I was paying attention to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and there was another pair, I think it was Ripple. That was the three crypto that I was following. And then I did see something like that. Whenever either Bitcoin makes a new high, Ethereum will not. And then it will move price lower. Or whenever Bitcoin makes a new low, Ethereum will make a higher low. And then Ethereum will be a stronger one. Even though they will both go up, but Ethereum will be the stronger one. Okay. So what I'm saying is this low here is the same time of the year, October 2022, as that one. But this is so close in taking it out, and this is so far away. Okay, so what will happen is they will take this one, and then they will leave that one. So in future, when I start talking about cross pair or how to select currency pairs to trade, we will talk more about this again. Okay, because that will be the difference between a strong currency and a weak currency. Okay, let's go to gold. So gold, I still favor the upside. I've not changed my bias. I think they came very close to where my TP was and price rejected. I still favor that side because of the buy that happened on um, that was Monday. The buy that happened on Monday. So I'm still favoring the upside. I think the next upside objective, they might drive it up into this small gap in here. So you're looking at 2683. That will be your next upside objective, 2683.4. I want to see a run above previous week high into this gap, and then that will be it for me. Once we get there, then I move to the sidelines, and that is again something that everybody needs to learn. You need to know when to be in the market and when not to be in. The fact that the market is open does not equate to every single day trading. If you do that, you'll be in trouble because the market is always going to move. You need to know when to be in and when not to be in, right? You don't actually trade every single day. If you do that, I don't know who does that, but trading shouldn't be every day thing. It should be when an opportunity is in the market. So know what you're looking for, and then once you get it, then you get out. Then you sit and wait. Don't chase price, don't chase trade ideas. Know what you're looking for. Okay. And then once it's in there, then you take a trade. Once the trade is done, then you move out. So currently, between this range, this low to this high, that's the trade idea. Once you get up here, that's it. Done. You move to the sidelines. And what I found out is most traders, when there is a trade, they won't take it. Once the trade is done, that's when they are interested in looking for a trade. Right? Most traders don't want to take a risk when it's dropping, but when it goes back up, that's when they are interested. So, for example, they will transition to Bitcoin in a second, but as Bitcoin and all the other cryptos are dropping, they will not look into buying it because they are scared. And I think yesterday, Igor corrected me with Warren Buffett's quote: "Be greedy when other people are fearful." Okay, so right now people are being fearful. That's the time to be greedy. I'm not saying go and buy it right now, but people will not look into buying until it turns around and is moved probably another 3 or 4 days to the upside. That's when everybody and their grandmother will be looking into Bitcoin to buy. And sometimes it's funny to see it because when it's dropping, everybody goes quiet. Nobody makes noise about cryptos. But when it's moved aggressively to the upside, then everybody will start talking about it, right? It's there for a reason. It's just market psychology. When it's going up, you're too late. When it's dropping, that's when you need to start looking into actually buying. So, gold, we get up here, done. You move to the sidelines. Crude oil, yesterday we talked about price reaching for the 75.08 level from here, and they've done that. Again, that's it for now. You're not looking for anything else. The week, this will be a trade for me for the week. Buying here, getting there, that's it for me for the week. I'm not interested in anything that's going to happen on this crude oil for the rest of the week. Whatever happens, if it goes here, fine. If it goes there, fine. Okay? Because you need to know when to be in and when not to be in. It's very, very important because the more you are in, the more smart money will catch you and kill you. The market is a funny place to be. Anyway, so crude oil, the target that I'm expecting has been reached. I don't know whether they're going to reject or they're going to go higher above it. I'll wait to see. If they can move beyond it, then I'll be interested in the continuation to the upside to this level. If they break it, then I'll anticipate a pullback into this range. And then I'll look for a buy to continue going up. As it stands, I don't know what they're going to do. So I'll just sit and wait. Okay. Now, if you're day trading and scalping, then that's a different ball game together, because we can drop down to the lower time frame and actually right now look for price to come and attack this low from here to there, and that will be just in of itself a trade idea, right? But I'm not interested in that, because once I get this move, that's it for me. Because if you're not careful, every single move you want to be in and you will blow your account. It's as simple as that. All right, so let's transition to cryptos. Let's start with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, let's go back and revisit the topic that I was talking about, the wick, right? Notice how it's creating that wick. At some point, it will turn black and then come for this low. Okay, and this would have been what I was talking about, that when the market opens and is going up, if you are bearish, then that is the manipulation. It's just going to go up and then come down. So most of the time, if you are bearish, then you can anticipate where that high is going to form. And then you can sell up there. Remember, I was saying the best advice that Larry Williams was given was to sell in up days. That's how the up days looks like. So when it's going up like this, that's when you sell, not when it's coming down. Okay. So when we open 1st of January, which is here, when the market opens like this, actually I have an indicator that does it for me. Let me bring my monthly opening price up. Okay, so that's the monthly open, right? When it opens like this, if you are bullish, then you want it to be going below that price, below this price here. You want to see it going below. If you are bearish, then you want to see it going up like this. Okay, hence once it gets to where it needs to get to, initially, I think if you're here, you remember I was expecting it to happen there and then go lower, but they decided to go a little bit more higher, which it did miss where if I was doing the selling, I would have sold up there and then go down. Okay, so as it stands, we want to see them trade and attack 91.27.1, and then we will see. Okay, now how do I want them to attack this? I want to see just pure down candles. I want to see this as a down candle as it stands, that one as a down candle, and then another down candle, maybe 2 more down candles to take out this low. I do not want to see an up candle in the mix. Okay, so we don't want to see any up candle print within this high and then this low. Just pure down candles, and that will mean a lot, because if it's all pure down candles, that will indicate that someone with big money is actually buying it. Okay, if they mix it with up candles, then forget about it, because that wouldn't be smart money. That's not how they buy. Okay, so we want it to be pure, continuous down candles to take out this low. So today, expect it to close as a bearish candle. Tomorrow, expect it to close as a bearish candle and then attack this low. Then we can basically look for a potential buy. Apologize. Let me close my. There you go. So yes, Bitcoin lower prices 91.27.1. Let's look at Ethereum. Okay, Ethereum, the same thing. I think I was expecting it above this equal high, but they decided to go up a little bit more, and then you see that rejection. Again, if you look at the monthly opening price, you see the same effect. We should have dropped, then go higher, but that didn't happen. So we want to see them continue going down to attack this low and then reject and go higher. What level? 3097. That would be the next downside objective for Ethereum. I would want to see, let me say it that way, I would want to see them go and attack 3097.65. Then we will look for a buy. Okay, that would be the ideal scenario for continuation to the upside. And when it's coming back up, this will be the target for now because price failed to trade in there. So when we get a reversal down here, that will be the target because that's where price should have reversed from. They didn't touch it. That will be our draw on liquidity when we get the reversal down here to start going up. Solana. Okay, so Solana, I'm still bullish. I haven't changed my bias. What is happening now does not change the narrative to 264.63. It's still gonna go up. The same scenario. If you remember, I said I didn't like this. I don't like it. Okay, and you can see why. The reason is big money does not leave buyers being profitable. That's not how they do their game. They will want to wipe you out first. Hence, understand the power of three. Basically, that's what I was talking about. The opening price going up and then going down is called the power of three. You want to see a movement down first and then a move up. So they can come all the way down, clean out all this, and then we go higher. Do I want to see that from where we are? Not likely, but it can. Okay, it can do it. So if you are bullish, be careful. If you are a short-term trader, long-term, you don't have a problem. Okay, if you're a long-term trader, so understand when I'm speaking, who I'm speaking to. When I'm bullish, I'm speaking to long-term holders, those that don't care about what is happening right now. But if you care about what is happening now, then you are a short-term trader to a day trader. Then you should care, because if you are short-term to day trading, then you don't have a trade as it stands. You can look for sell, but it's risky. You can look for buy, but it's risky. So you stay out. If you are day trading, maybe you can get away with taking a sell every single day with the potential that we will keep going down. If you're a scalper, yes, you can get away with a potential sell, maybe to get in and out on the lower time frame. But if you are none of these two and you are expecting price to go higher and take out profit right now, then you are not supposed to be here in the market right now. So long term, those that think Solana will appreciate value, yes, that's what's going to happen. It will still continue going. As long as we are above this down candle, that will be the case. Okay, so what is happening now here? I studied under some group of guys, and they call it a complex pullback. So a complex pullback is when price makes an impulse leg. When price makes an impulse leg like this, and this is your current dealing range, and then price will pull back. But instead of it going up, it will stay inside this range for a long time. Okay, and then it will keep killing accounts, thinking if you buy, it's gonna go up here. But all this while, your actual range is supposed to be between this low and this high. That is the range, and that is the one that I've given. This one and that one. So as long as we are inside that, it's still gonna go up. What will happen in here is what is termed a complex pullback, and that's the killer. Okay, when price is in a complex pullback situation, you probably most people blow their account during this kind of market situations than any, because when you buy, you'll be thinking it's gonna go up here, and then all of a sudden it comes back down, but it will not breach this low. Okay, so if you go into price, you will see a lot of this, especially on the higher time frame, and that's what kills a lot of traders' account. So when you understand complex pullbacks, it can help you avoid situations like this, right? Understanding the power of three will mean this is a pullback, and it might come back down and then go back up, and then we resume going up. So Solana, as it stands, it can go all the way down to clean out all these lows, especially attack previous month low, which is December's low, and still be valid to go higher. And that's what I said, it's a killer, because they can do that. Those that have money that you probably have never seen before, they can do that. Let's go to AI. So AI, yesterday I gave this range. Now the same thing is happening here. What I just described, this low to this high, that is the range. All that is happening here is a complex pullback. So they can stay inside this range and still be valid to go higher, which that's still the case. I'm not bearish on this. As long as we are above this low, which is the last down candle on the daily, because that's the pullback. It happened here. So unless we make a new high, all of these, if we don't go up here, all of this will become a complex pullback. And that's one of the patterns that if you are learning to trade, you need to understand when it's happening, because that's when they can take you out and still be valid to go in the direction that you're expecting price to go. Okay, so as it stands, I'm still bullish. I've not changed my bias. This is a short-term trade or a day trade where we want them to respect it and go higher, but that didn't happen. So it can come down, take out this into this area, and then reject and go high again, right? Now, does it have the ability to do what I was expecting on the Bitcoin, which is manipulation on the monthly opening price? No. Let me go to the monthly candle. Does it need to come down and create a wick here? Based on what it's doing right now, no. Why? Because when the candle, okay, is printing on the monthly, there are some things that happens on the lower time frame that safe guide it from actually doing it. So here will be an example. This move to the downside creates I would say a foundation to stop price from doing it. And I think we will learn more about that in future. But you can see it on the daily, by the way. By the time the monthly candle closes, price would have turned around and it doesn't need to come back down again. So the month is closing this week here. when it's coming back down, it comes back down on the lower time frame and it would form a, I'll say, resistance or support, like a turning point in the lower time frame. So hence, the foundation has been built, or a protection has been built. So the next one is going to open and it's just going to shoot up. It doesn't need to go down to go up. So those are the instances where you don't want to see the manipulation. But if they've not built anything like that, then you can expect. So if I go back to, let me go back to Bitcoin. Okay. This is the end of the month, right? If there is no protection for price to continue going higher, then price will basically manipulate and then go higher. Let me draw it so you can understand. When the monthly candle closes like this and you're expecting lower prices, this is a down candle. If you're expecting lower prices, then there needs to be a protection in here so that when this one opens, it will just immediately drop. It doesn't need to manipulate and then go down. Okay. On Bitcoin, there was nothing like that. That's why it had to go up and then drop. Had there been protection in here, what kind of protection? By the time the month will end in here, it will create something like this, and then the month will end. When it happens like that, then all it needs is to open and then drop. Why? Because they've already formed a protection. That protection will stop price from going up, and then price will drop. Okay, so AI, that's that protection here, this down candle, essentially. Because once we closed for the month and then this shot up, this became the protection. So price does not need to trade below this, because on the institutional order flow perspective, we don't want to see price go below down candles when we are bullish. Okay, that's why I do not want to see them. So they can take out the low, this candle's low, and then reject and then go higher. So AI is still bullish. Then the whole story that I'm trying to drive to is AI is still bullish. So AI, our protection is here. As long as we are above that, you're going to expect price to continue going higher. If they create if they create another big move to make a new high, then this will become our next protection. Okay, it failed to do that. If this one had created another move, creating a nice imbalance, then this would have been our next protection. Since it failed to do that, this is still our protection. So expect maybe a run below this low and then a rejection to continue going up. Let's look at hype, and then I think we'll bring today's session to an end because my associate Igor has to do some runs. So hype, right? That's exactly what I was anticipating. That's exactly what I was anticipating, right? I was anticipating them to come and attack this low into this gap, and then maybe a rejection to go higher. Okay, so from the monthly perspective, this will potentially be, if there was more candles on this chart, then I'll be very confident that this will be the low of the month. The low of the month should form in here, and then expect higher prices. But since we just have one candle, I would say it's likely to form the low of the month here and then expand up, because we don't have enough data to support that idea. Okay, so the way I look at price, yes, this is where the low of the month needs to form. and 3 down candles is enough for smart money to accumulate, right, and then go higher. Hence, I would want to see a rejection from here. Now, on the daily time frame, they've only printed 2 down candles, so maybe one more, one more down candle to take out today's low. So tomorrow, I want to see tomorrow also finish down, still within this fair value gap in here, or an imbalance in here. So I want to see tomorrow's candle be like this, and then I want to see one candle go up. That is when I'll be interested in maybe looking for a buy on this. Remember, you buy when people are what? Fearful. Okay, not when they are greedy. So now there's fear in the market, that's when you want to buy. Most of the time, if you had a lot of money, you don't have to worry, then yes, you buy. But since you don't, and it can keep going down, and if your money is not big enough, you might get liquidated. That's why you wait for a confirmation. Okay, so wait, let them confirm. Ideally, I think I would like to see one more down candle and then one up candle closing above the down candle. Then I'll be interested in buying to go up. Until then, stay away. I think the sell up here, a lot of people, a friend of mine actually sold up there and then went down. Okay, let's look at favorite pair. I think I almost forgot about it, but I think I remember now. Let me bring it up because the chart that I was using the last time, I think they've removed it from it. So okay, so that is the tool. Let's go on to the daily time frame first. So on the daily, I still believe we're supposed to continue going up, even though the daily was not able to close above the weekly. This down candle here, it did not close above it, right? It rejected it, but I still think we might go higher. So our mentor stop loss currently stays at 0.01479. That is currently where our mentor stop loss is because they've made a new high above this high here. Okay, so this is going to be our range. If you look at it from a H4 perspective, this low to this high is going to be our range. Now, with this rejection on the H4 time frame, you can pull a fib and then look for a continuation to continue going higher from here. Let me bring one of the levels that I like using. Okay, so this level here, that's where I will want to see them come to, and then a continuation to the upside. Now, remember I said the closing above the weekly high, if it does it on the daily, great. If it doesn't, then we expect it to be on the weekly. So since we still have, today is Wednesday, so we still have about 5 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 days for the week to close. So we still have 4 days for price to continue going up to close above this on the weekly basis, because the daily has failed to close above it. So now we have to rely on the weekly. Maybe if this candle closes and the next one opens and go and close above it, then that's fine. Until then, we would want to see either the daily close out or the weekly closing. So this might be a pullback, which I think that's likely because it's an inside candle. It's the high is inside this candle, so most of the time it's accumulation or there's buying taking place inside this down candle. So I would want to see them trade here. If today closes as it is, then look at today's low, which is this one here, and then anticipate the next day trading below that, and then you want to see the rejection happen. Okay, remember, you buy when people are being fearful. A down candle is fear, so let them be fearful and then you be greedy. All right. So that's the tool for you. The buying level ideally should be at oops. Okay, so the buying level should be at ideally 0.2184 level and below. You want to buy at or below 0.2184. That would be the ideal level. Okay. If you want to use the Fibonacci, measure this low to this high and then look for 70.5. So if you don't have it, you can add it to your Fibonacci levels. Is 0.705 level. Okay, that's the level that I'm watching. Buy. Okay. And then I think pretty much last one, and then I'll call it a day, is Ripple. I think someone did ask about Ripple. Where is it? Ripple. Now, if you've noticed the move to the downside as all the other cryptos are doing, Ripple is not doing it. Why? Look at the monthly open and then look at this week. Okay, so when we open, price actually went down here and then took out liquidity. It took out this low, that low, and that low. So if price does something like that when it opens, then there's no need for it to come back below the opening price again. Yeah, this opening, it doesn't need to go below this low again, especially with the move above that weekly high. It doesn't need to do it. Again, learn. Smart money or institutions always want to kill someone first before they go. And they've done that on Ripple. So it does not need to come all the way down here. If it does, I'll be very surprised. If it comes all the way down here, it can do it, but if it does, I'll be very surprised. So I would want to see all the cryptos continue going down and Ripple might just stay in here. And then once they start resuming going higher, then this will also resume going higher. So Ripple is still 2.917. That's still the buys. And our mental stop loss will be 1.9051. As long as we are above that, this is where price needs to turn around. Now, just one more hint, then we're done for the day. We do not want to see the daily time frame close below 2.1477, this level. We don't want the daily to close below that, because if they do, then they will come for the low, which you don't want that. Okay, so I've given you levels to anticipate in case you are bullish and you are long. You can close your trade once they start closing below that and then waiting. Okay, because this gap here needs to be respecting price, or it needs to hold to send price higher, because that's where this is the signature to tell you that investors or institutions came in buying this. That's the signature, price signature. Okay. So Ripple still to the upside as long as we are above this level and we don't want to see the daily close below 21477. So with that said, I think that will be all from me. My colleague has 1 minute to go. So I think I've pretty much done very well.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go. This is awesome. Uh, the unified market narrative coming at you every day. Let's go, Tatsuo fan. Keep pumping it up. Uh, this is absolutely incredible. I'm just loving watching the markets unfold with SP DOS, with IT Trader. And IT, you did mention that you wanted to make a book recommendation. So I just want to make sure you have that opportunity.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there's a book called um, Visualization, Directing the Movies of Your Mind. Um, you can search for it online for all those digital readers, those that like reading online. You will not get it online. So you have to get a physical copy. And reading physical copy books is actually more beneficial than reading online, both for your subconscious and both for your visuals, because staring at the screen most of the time is not good for your eyes. So just read the physical copy.
Awesome. Yeah, I took a note. I'm definitely gonna as soon as all my meetings are done for the day, that's picking up a copy. Thanks so much for sharing that.
Awesome. You're welcome. I think I'll recommend a book every single day.
Yeah, nice. You know what? I'm right there with you. I got so many recommendations I wanted to share, right? Uh, the other thing with actually like reading a book and not like a TLDR version. I know a lot of people get those apps and like websites and stuff like that that summarize books and they're happy with that. It's not going to do it. Like, I mean, you might get the points and the concepts, but you're never going to really get to know the author's story or the mind of the author. And that's where the actual hidden knowledge is in actually uh you know we learn from essentially we become authors that have passed, so we become friends with the dead, right? Or right, we get to know them on a very personal, deep level. And authors that are still alive, we get without ever meeting them, we get to actually like be inside their mind. And if you're just getting a TLDR, or if you're even from these live sessions, if you're just getting the TLDR, you're not really getting to know what's going on. You're just getting a summary or some bullet points. And yeah, sure, that's gonna last you or help you out in the short term quickly, and maybe even in the long term, of course. But you're never really gonna have that imprint. You're never really gonna have that connection, and that's super important. So you got to read. You got to use the old school tech. You got to get a real book. Get a pen and paper and use it. It works. And same with the music, right? Anyways, that's all I got.
Awesome. Awesome, man.
Thank you very much, IT. If there's anything else you wanted to cap off on, feel free. Otherwise, we can sign out.
No, I think I've pretty much exhausted everything for now. Let's keep some for tomorrow.
Awesome. Sounds good. And we'll be back with SP DOS in about 15 minutes for New York Part 2, just with some updates. We're going to keep it nice and quick, so stay tuned for that. Signing out. Take care.